Hi friends, welcome to Nessa's Nook. So tonight I'm going to make a first attempt that I've never made anywhere before. I don't believe I've actually ate this in about 27 years since I've been pregnant. It was something I absolutely loved, and my parents used to eat at the Chinese restaurant at least once a week. And because I worked for her, she'd bring some back for me for lunch, and then one day it just got to be where I just could not eat it. There's the smell of it just, you know how it is with pregnancy. So I am going to make my first attempt ever of cashew chicken, excuse me, in the Ninja RIO, or in the Instant Pot RIO. And hopefully everything turns out good. I'm going to be making like a double batch. Well, it says it's going to actually do 12 servings. However, it's not really, you know how the servings are just really small. But the object is, I know I told Kim's going to take some of this. We'll have our dinner, and then what I'm hopefully going to do, because I made an extra rice, is that we can actually put those in those meals for the Hot Logic Mini, so I can have it for lunch and Mark can have it for lunch, because I think it's something we both are going to like. So I turned on the RIO, and it says hot now, so I can go ahead and get this started. So I'll go ahead and bring it down. And I'm going to go ahead and throw in a little bit of oil. And so far, if you guys are wondering, I know I haven't had this RIO for very long. So far, I am absolutely loving this RIO. I love, like, when you cook, like, with the chicken and stuff like this, that it feels like I'm cooking with a big pan on the stove. And everything is, when you could do like a one-pot meal, that's even that much better. So that's what I really, really like. So I'm going to go ahead and put in 2 things of chicken here. And I'm not going to keep it here while I'm warming up the chicken. I don't have to cook it all the way through because I will be pressure cooking this. But I'm going to try to get a little bit of color on this chicken before we actually go ahead and add everything else that goes with us. So I will be right back. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and work on the sauce. And because anybody that knows, they've been watching me for a length of time, knows that when I end up cooking something for the first time, I wish I would have really doubled the sauce. And so this is no different. And I am going to go ahead and double the sauce just from the get-go. So there'll be the instructions down below of how much I used of everything. So this is actually going to be doubled. I have my soy sauce in here, and I have my rice vinegar, and this is maple syrup. Now, I'm not one to usually cook with maple syrup. Mark loves it. It's not something I do prefer. And I am going to go ahead, and I'm not going to measure because I like garlic and I like ginger. So I'm just going to go ahead and put some in until I feel like I have enough in here. But like I said, there will be the real instructions down below. The chicken's almost cooked, so that should be enough garlic. And I'm going to go ahead and squeeze in some ginger. Alright. I'm going to go ahead, ooh, that ginger smells so good. And go ahead and whisk this together. We're not going to be using this right now anyways. That will be one of the next steps. But that looks really good. It smells really good. So I'm going to go ahead and I'll bring you back as soon as I'm ready to do something with this chicken here. Okay, so the chicken is cooked enough for me. So what's going to happen is I'm going to go ahead and stop the saute feature. And then I'm going to be going ahead and throwing in this double batch of the sauce. And give that a nice little stir. See, I think that's going to be making it really nice because, like I said, this is actually going to hold a 2-pound bag of broccoli plus other vegetables, like more of my garden peppers and stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and make sure that I have this actually stirred and kind of like you can tell that there's no bits of the chicken kind of like stuck to the bottom. You know how it gives you those little cooked pieces so I don't get the burn notice. Alright. And then what's going to happen is at this point, I'm going to go ahead and put on the lid. And I'm going to go ahead and hit pressure cook. And I am going to go ahead and go up to 4 minutes and go ahead and hit start. My venting is closed. My pin will come up. And then what's going to happen as soon as that's done, then I'm going to go ahead and I will be doing a I think I'll be doing a manual release, and then we'll go ahead and be adding the vegetables. And meanwhile, in my 3-quart Instapot, I have the rice cooking. So I'm going to go ahead and get the vegetables around, and I'm going to break down or kind of cut up the broccoli a little bit in smaller pieces. And that's what I'm going to be working on here next. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I kind of thawed these out just a little bit, so it would be easier to go ahead and try to cut these up. Sometimes these Walmart ones are really nice and small. Sometimes they're not. You never know until you open up the bag. I'm not used to dealing with a whole 2 pounds of broccoli like that, that's for sure. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of just cut this up just a little bit. Not where it's just like super dainty like you would use for broccoli soup or anything. But go ahead and cut this up a little bit. I think I need a bigger cutting board. I really hope this turns out because like I said, I've not had this for probably 27 years. Now this is chopped enough. I did get out the 2 cups. I'm only going to do the 2 cups of the nuts, not the 4. I just wanted extra sauce. Everything else won't be doubled. And I didn't double the meat either. So I will be back when I'm going to go ahead and put the peppers in. Okay, so the 4 minutes is over. So I'm going to go ahead and release the pressure. And that does happen sometimes. That's why I don't like to manually release. I really prefer to have that just come off, you know, automatically. But when this happens, one of the things you're definitely going to want to do is to take apart, you know, your pin and make sure that's clean. Make sure, I mean, you do that every time, but especially when you have like that happen that comes out, that you make sure that you clean everything really well, the ring and the pin and all that stuff, and it will help keep that around a little bit better. You wouldn't think in 4 minutes there would be that much pressure, would you? But you never try to open this up or try to do anything while this is actually getting all the steam out. You'll hear the pin drop, and at that point then you can actually open up the lid. Which is about ready to drop. I don't know if you heard that stop, and then what's going to happen is you're always going to open up your lid away from you. Nothing worse than the thought of possibly burning yourself. That would absolutely be horrible. Now I don't know for sure if you can see this or not, but see how like all that sauce and all that went up there? So I'm going to go ahead and take like a little spatula thing and get that down because I can see like the garlic and stuff, and you're going to want to have as much of the garlic as possible. Now, I'm going to kind of like do this a little bit differently. I'm going to go ahead and turn it back on the saute and hit start. But what I did is I just took my bowl that I had earlier, so I'm not making a bigger mess, to go ahead and put in the slurry. And then I'll stir this up for a few minutes. And then I'll go ahead and add the vegetables and stuff. Now, what gets me, and I never knew this, I've always used the 1 minute or the 0 minutes for, you know, cooking the broccoli and stuff. So this says you actually just put the lid on and let it steam for a couple minutes. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and add in the cashews. Alright. And then 1 bag of the peppers. Sometimes those just doesn't want to come out of the top there. Let me mess with that in a minute there, get the rest of them out. And a bigger bag of the peppers, which I'll have to mess around with still. Give that another stir. And now, meanwhile, like I said, this is on saute. So what's going to happen is, at this point, oh, there's still cashews in there. I'm going to go ahead and start putting the broccoli in here. Now this broccoli is still just a little bit frozen, but it should come together pretty easily. Stir that up and I'll put the rest in here. This is a really big batch. I maybe should not have doubled everything, but if this turns out like I think it will, I'll be eating this for a lot of times for lunches. And yes, my counter is clean. Piece of broccoli on the floor, that's broccoli abuse. Here, puppy, that I don't have a puppy. So, I'll go ahead and get these bigger pieces off here. Now I'm going to go ahead and give this another little stir. And from the instructions, wow, that's looking really, really good. From the instructions, what you do is you leave it on saute. And what you do is you put the lid on and you leave that to steam like that for a few minutes. I've never used an Instapot like that. So meanwhile, I'm going to go ahead and work on getting the rest of these peppers out. And then I'll be back once this is done and we'll get the rice and stuff. Alright, I think the broccoli's done. I took the saute off. I'm going to go ahead and give that one more thing. As I was looking at this, you know, and I think Incredible had that, is next time I'm going to put some onions in here, and next time I'm going to put some snow peas. I don't know how this tastes all the way yet, but I'll give you a little taste test here on, you know, I bet even some mushrooms would be really awesome in that. Next time we'll doctor it up even more. How's that? I'm really glad I put the extra sauce. I'm really, really glad we put the extra sauce. So, tell me, everybody, how does that look minus the snow peas and minus the mushrooms and minus the onions I plan to do next time? Alright, so this is really hot, so I can't take a really big bite. But let's see if this is worth the 27 year wait here. Hold on here. You want to take a little bite of that? Tell me what you think.
I did earlier, but I'll try it again. It was really good.
Now that it's all the way, now that it's all the way done.
Now it's all over the counter.
Does that taste any better now that it's done and cooked?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
All right. Well, I love it. Mark likes it. Love it or like it? Love it?
Love it.
Love it. So, 2 thumbs up. We'll find out tomorrow if Kim actually likes hers. And I can see this making quite a few of those meals in the Hot Logic, and I can see having this quite often actually for lunch. And the thing is, because It will cook in the Hot Logic. I can actually, if I go buy some snow peas and I want to put some mushrooms in here, I can have all that still even in mine. So I am really impressed with this. If you guys try this, and if you do like the mixture ingredients, I mean, it might be something you may or may not like, but I can see myself definitely adding that to this in the future. I think this is going to go on rotation. Definitely on rotation. So anyways, thanks for stopping by. Let me know if you've made anything like this in the past or if you've made it at all. And let me know what changes you've made. And thank you very much for stopping by. You have a very blessed and wonderful day.